right, here we are at Act 2, Scene 3, and this is a quiz, and it's open book, so make sure you have your book on Raisin in the Sun. So here we are, Act 2, Scene 3. First questions. First of all, what is the irony in the way that Mr. Lindner is talking to the family? And Mr. Lindner is a symbol for what kind of people? Okay, so first of all, what is the irony in the way that Mr. Lindner is talking to the family? Well, remember that irony is when expectation differs from reality, all right? So the way that Mr. Lindner is talking to the family, he's talking about how we all just ought to love one another. And he talks about how we should think about other people and be caring, and he's being extremely, extremely polite. Okay, so based on your expectation of someone being extremely polite, you would expect that they genuinely care about those people. However, the reality is that he's actually being incredibly racist, rude, and unwelcoming. Okay, so the irony is that although he's being polite, he's actually being racist and unwelcoming and rude. Okay. Mr. Lindner is a symbol for what kind of people? I think he represents the good Christian white people who actually hate each other with false politeness, right? And there are a lot of people out there like that, right? There are a lot of Christians out there that really truly harbor hate in their hearts, but they'll do it in a really nice way because they've got to be kind, right? That's what the Bible says. Okay, so I think it's the good Christian white people who hate each other under false kind of politeness. And we see that because he comes in and he says, I just want everybody to be happy, and we got to think about, everybody and others' needs and stuff. And so I really just need you to move out, right? So he's not actually being caring and warm and welcoming and inviting. He's trying to get them to not move in. He even goes so far as to offer them money to not move in, right? And he says things like, well, think about that. Let's see, you got to admit that a man, right or wrong, has the right to want to have the neighborhood he lives in a certain kind of way, and that certain kind of way is at the exclusion of Black people. And so Mr. Lindner is really a piece of work. He's not really being all that welcoming, and that's why when Benita says, "This, friends, is the welcoming committee," right? She's, again, being sarcastic, right? Next question. Mr. Lindner offers to buy the home at a financial gain to the family. What is he asking the family to choose between? And what does Benita mean by 30 pieces and not a coin less? Okay, so again, Mr. Lindner offers to buy the home at a financial gain to the family. What is he asking the family to choose between? He's asking them to choose between the money and their sense of pride, right? If they take that money, then that means that they have to give up on their hopes and dreams, right? So essentially they are losing their integrity by gaining money. And so it would be a loss of pride as well. Okay, what does Benita mean by 30 pieces and not a coin less? This is, of course, an allusion to Judas, who took 30 pieces of silver to betray Jesus. And so what she is saying is taking the money would not only betray our pride, right? But it would also be a form of betraying the Black community as a whole, because they have this opportunity to push forward, this opportunity to make progress in their community. And if they were to take the money, it'd be as though they were betraying the Black community, who they have pretty much taken on the responsibility of helping to further within the community. Okay, and finally, one last question, because I think it's really important for this particular act and the scene. What happens at the end of this scene? Okay, so what happens at the end of the scene? Walter has lost all of the money. Not even just his share, but he also took Benita's share as well. And so her college money, the money for her education is also gone. So he did a poor investment, was betrayed by one of his friends, and now all of their money is gone. The down payment on the house still remains, but all of their money, all the extra money was gone now. So that's the end of Act 2.